Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I made this delicious fall-inspired cheesecake, pumpkin swirl. You're gonna love it. It's super easy. So I had basically everything out here I needed. I started out with a cup and a half of bread, not breadcrumbs, I always say that, graham cracker crumbs. And then I had pre-melted my stick of butter, which is basically the equivalent of a quarter of a cup of butter. And I added in quarter cup of sugar as well. So I just gave that a stir. It wants to be like, you want it to be like a sandy mixture to pat down in the bottom of your tray. But it comes together really quickly. So I always put parchment paper. If you guys have seen my past videos, I always put parchment paper on the bottom. It just helps when it's done cooking and you can move it from the tray. So I just loosely cut the edges so it's not all over the place. Just adding in my crust for the bottom. You can see how it all kind of sticks together there. And then I just wanted to pack that down. I had my oven preheating at 350, and you want to put that in on a cookie tray just for 5 minutes to let it harden. And you want to put it on a cookie tray, pro tip, because the butter kind of melts through and you'll just have a smoky mess in your oven if it's not on a tray to catch that. So while that was in the oven, I just added my 3 blocks of cream cheese. In the past, I've used no-name cream cheese for cheesecakes, but honestly, if you want the crowd pleaser, you're going to want to get the Philadelphia. It's the best cream cheese. So I just kind of loosely chopped those up just so it's easier on the mixer. Just took a few minutes to get everything in the bowl. I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. I'm gonna try and do some fall baking, just different things, pumpkin. I'm gonna look up and see if there's other recipes I can try for you guys. And if there's anything you guys wanna see, just drop it down in the comments. I love baking. I usually take my extra to work or give it to my grandma. Just breaking up that cream cheese there. Then I added in my sugar. I did a cup and a half of the sugar, just a white granulated sugar. Here I did about, I want to say a quarter a cup of sour cream. I just kind of eyeballed that. And then same with the vanilla extract, about a tablespoon of that. Add in my 3 eggs. I love fall for all the pumpkin recipes. It's my favorite. And here I just added in cinnamon and then like an allspice kind of. It was like a mixture of like nutmeg and all your fall spices. You can get whatever kind you want, but if you just have cinnamon, that's fine too. You can just add that. About a tablespoon of that. Just opening my can of pumpkin. And pumpkin puree, don't worry about like not using the full thing, because obviously this was like a huge can. So I just took what I needed, and it freezes really great in a freezer safe bag. Just flatten it out and date it, and it's good for, I want to say 6 months to a year in the freezer. I'm sure mine will get used up before then, but I just added the cup of the puree in there. Another thing too is good if you like coffee, just add a little bit to your coffee, like the creamer, and mix it for the pumpkin flavor. That's always great too. So I just got my beaters here and made sure to mix this up really, really good. You don't want any chunks. I did mix it for a few minutes to bring it together. I did leave the cream cheese on the counter to soften for a good hour before I started this recipe, or you're not going to have a fun time trying to mix this. I feel like I could have even left it an hour and a half because I had to mix it quite a bit to get the chunks out of it. And another thing you're going to want to do too, like I did here, is scrape down the sides just to make sure it comes together. And like I said, just a few minutes of mixing. You'll know when it's done, you won't see any more lumps and it'll be nice and creamy. So then I added about half of that mixture in with the pumpkin. And you guys will see why here in a minute. I wanted to give it like a different color throughout, so it's kind of like the swirl. You can do it any way you like. If you don't have to do it like this, you can add the whole thing in, add the pumpkin into all of it. But I didn't mind doing it this way. And then I just added like a spoonful of each at a time into the pan, and then it kind of made like a neat like texture when it was done in different color variation. Yeah, I'm just kind of throwing it all in there. And it was neat when it baked up like that. Kind of smoothing that first layer out and then adding the rest. Just sporadic, it doesn't have to be perfect. And you just want to make an even flat layer on the top when you're all done adding it. It's kind of getting a little messy here. There we go. Nice and smooth. So that oven was still on for 350. You put it in for an hour with the oven on at 350, and then you shut the oven off and leave it in there for another hour. It kind of helps prevent cracking on the top. It did crack a little bit, but not too bad. And here it is after. I let it sit on the counter for 2 hours to cool before putting it in the refrigerator. I let it cool in the refrigerator for at least 3 hours before I ended up cutting into it to serve it. But you want to just loosen the edges there with a butter knife. And this is where that paper comes into hand, just for transferring it onto like a serving plate. Just lifts up nice and easy, because otherwise you'd have no way of getting it off that tin and it would be all stuck. Then you just trim the paper off. It's no big deal. Nobody will even know it's there if you're worried about presentation. But this smelled so good. Hope you guys give this one a try. It was pretty easy. Cheesecake's not too bad to make, honestly. But I hope you guys like this, and if you'd like and subscribe to the channel and help me grow, that would be greatly appreciated, so I can keep sharing these great recipes with everyone. But thanks a lot, guys. Until the next one. Bye.